Of the 52 cases referred to the NBI, 13 were recommended to be prosecuted. 7 are still under investigation, and 32 of these cases were provisionally closed either for lack of cooperation on the part of the relatives of the victims. Let us remember, Your Honors, Mr. Chair, that we have been denied the opportunity to conduct forensic investigation on the pieces of evidence. Walang crime scene investigation dito. When these were all referred to us, the crime had already happened long time ago. It's very difficult now to reconstruct the scene of the crime. The ideal procedure should have been when a violent incident occurred or happened, dapat nagkandak kaagad ang SOCO ng crime scene investigation.
Pero, Director, how were you able to file a case dun sa 13 ba yung na-file nyo? So, if there are no SOCO reports or immediate investigation after the crime happened, so how were you able to file those cases?
Thank you, Mr. Chair. Ito yung may mga witnesses kaming nakuha at ito yung nag-pursue yung relatives ng victims.
So, merong cases where the relatives were pursuing a case and meron naman dun sa out of 52 na hindi na nagko-cooperate, hindi na nagpapakita and does not show any interest to file a case.
That's correct, Your Honor, Mr. Chair. Now, ideally, kung nagkaroon ng violent incident, dapat nagkandak kaagad ng SOCO doon sa crime scene ng kanilang investigation. And to further answer yung gaps kanina kung saan napupunta yung mga baril used by law enforcement officers in the various operations involved in violent incidents, this should have been asked to be surrendered when there was a crime scene investigation wherein pieces of evidence were collected or gathered at the scene of the crime. For example, kung nakakuha ng slugs, kung nakakuha ng empty shells during the conduct of the crime scene investigation, dapat tinanong yung involved na police officers or NBI officers for that matter to surrender your firearms. I remember when we investigated the incident in Commonwealth Avenue involving PDEA and Quezon City Police. I was on top of this investigation. We requested all of those involved to surrender your firearms to the NBI. This is so that the pieces of evidence collected or gathered by the NBI at that time at the scene of the crime, yung slugs, yung empty shells, will have to be cross-matched with the firearms used. At kailangan isurrender nila sa evidence custodian ng NBI to avoid tampering of their firearms when we use this. Only when we shall have terminated or finish the investigation and our forensic experts shall have testified on the results of their investigation, may the pieces of evidence na firearms ng NBI or ng police ay maaring ibalik on with leave of court, of course. Thank you, Your Honor.
Mr. Chair.
Okay, thank you, Director Levin. Yes, Congressman Abante.
I surmise, therefore, Mr. Chair, that masyadong magulo itong nangyayaring ito ng panahon ng former administration. Di para bang ang ating kapulisan ay hindi nag-iimbestiga. So I surmise, Mr. Chair, that the police actually were not properly investigating because of the policy of the administration, because of the policy of the former president, na kung yan, nanlaban ng kaunti yan, patayin nyo na, at I have your back. Ako ang magpuprotekta sa inyo. And I would even think, I do not know, Major General, you could be able to tell me if I'm right or wrong, no? Okay lang sa akin. Pero palagay ko, there really was a big irregularity as far as investigating this is concerned. O just imagine, we have more than 7,000 na napatay, but only 52 are being investigated. And 37 of them, wala na because hindi na umuli yung biktima. Now the thing is this, I don't think that it is the NBI that should be first in the scene. It must be the policeman that should be in the scene of the crime. Am I right, Major General?
You are correct, Your Honor. It's supposed to be the PNP, especially the SOCO, that will process the crime scene, especially in the event of armed confrontation, Your Honor.
Mr. Chair, why do you always have to give that to IAS? Why don't the SOCO be the one to investigate on it? Motu proprio.
It is within their mandate, Your Honor. The IAS has the motu proprio.
No. It's not the mandate of the IAS is to investigate an administrative case. Of course, kasama yung criminal dun eh. Pero still, the IAS should be independent from the Philippine National Police. Therefore, the Philippine National Police must also conduct their own investigation on the matter. Am I right, Major General?
That's correct, Your Honor. As I have mentioned, it is being part of the SOCO operations. And as I have mentioned, once an irregularity has been found based on the processing, corresponding actions is also being recommended, Your Honor.
Mr. Chair?
Yes, are you done, Congressman Abante? So, Congressman Agop, you're recognized.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. General Salvador, may I know the basis why IAS should be the one to investigate incidents involving police officers where firearms are used?
It's not, as I mentioned, Your Honor, it's also their mandate independently, but as I mentioned also that...
Would you please state to this body, ano po yung mandate na sinasabi po ninyo?
It's the motu proprio investigation, especially if the case involves the use of firearms. And
is that provided for by any law?
It is within the disciplinary machinery of 6975.
Administrative cases, I will agree with you. Di ba? Kasi...
Opo, nasa batas po, Your Honor.
I do not know. That's why I'm asking, because during our time, the agency that investigates these events or these incidents would be the CIDG. Why? Because when these incidents happen, there are two aspects. Dalawang kaso eh. Administrative at saka criminal. Now, is the IAS equipped to conduct criminal investigation?
It is...
please answer my question first. Is the IAS equipped, or does it have the capacity to conduct criminal investigation?
I believe so, Your Honor.
Oh.
On the basis of the findings of every...
The IAS is basically an agency which investigates the administrative aspect of this issue. Would you agree with that?
Yes, Your Honor, but
Yes.
as I have mentioned, they can always recommend.
Sinasabi kanina ni Mr. Sarmenta na grave neglect of duty na yung one eh. That is administrative offense. Pero ano yung criminal offense na final ninyo?
I have been consistent with my response, Your Honor, because...
Hindi ko naman sinasabi na hindi ka consistent. Ang question ko, yung sagot mo. Kasi, hindi ba sabi ko, you give me the basis why IAS is supposed to conduct this kind of investigations. When in fact, I know na yung IAS, administrative aspect lang ng kaso, ang trabaho nila. The criminal aspect is with CIDG, which is capacitated to do the criminal investigation. Kasi iba yung administrative investigation at saka criminal investigation. Doon pa lang sa evidence that is required, magkaiba na yung dalawa eh. So, how can you tell me that the IAS is capacitated to conduct criminal investigation?
Well,
you tell me, what is that mandate that you are telling me? So that I will be convinced.
it is, they have the powers to file appropriate criminal cases against PNP members because before the court as evidence warrants and assist in the prosecution of the case. At tulad ng binabanggit namin, Your Honor, wala silang pinagkaiba sa investigator on case na kung may mga ebidensya on the basis of findings of the SOCO.
Doon po dun sa kaso na sinasabi ni Mr. Sarmenta, ano po yung criminal case na na-file?
Well, we will have to check on the record, Your Honor, for a while.
Yan nga yung sinasabi ko eh.
I believe that they are telling us as to the specification.
Meron po bang criminal case, Mr. Sarmenta, na final?
There was a case in the Ombudsman po. The ES case po is NES NMP PCI 180054, which is basically a series of grave neglect of duty on Colonel Lito Patay, the QCPD.
Administrative.
And then on the policeman involved, grave neglect of duty, grave misconduct, and conduct unbecoming.
Those are all administrative cases, which is under jurisdiction of the Ombudsman, both criminal and administrative.
There was a separate filing at the Ombudsman po initiated by the CHR, OMBPC 180092. This is for murder. And it was dismissed by the Ombudsman.
Yan yung criminal aspect. Yun nga yung sinasabi ko eh. Ang nangyayari, El Salvador, administrative aspect lang or administrative cases lang ang fina-file ng IAS. Why? Because it's their mandate.
But, Your Honor, they are also not prevented to file the criminal
I would
case.
agree with you.
Yes.
But supposing I will ask you to give to this committee or submit to this committee ano yung mga cases na involved sa extrajudicial killings na na-file ng criminal case by IAS to prove your point.
We will wait for the IAS to respond to that, Your Honor.
Yes. And that is why, Mr. Chair, may I move that we invite the Director of IAS in the next hearing para masettle tong issue na ito?
Okay, there's a motion to invite the head of the IAS.
Second.
And duly seconded. Any objection? In the said motion is now approved.
Mr. Chair, I also would like to inform the body, especially our, I like Attorney Conti and Mr. Neta, that this morning, the Committee on Appropriations already approved, no? The Committee on Human Rights was the first one who approved that. But today, already approved the CHR charter. Now, Mr. Chair, I think that there should not only be a review of these cases, there ought to be a reinvestigation of these cases, Mr. Chair. Would that be the kind of mandate the Philippine National Police also has? Because the thing is, yung mga investigation ginawa on the last administration were actually wala eh. Wala nangyari. So, I'd like to ask Major General Salvador, would you agree that all of those victims of the extrajudicial killings, more than 7,000 of them or more, should be reinvestigated further? Major General.
Yes, Your Honor, it's possible for investigation.
Therefore, Mr. Chair, if it's possible, then I would strongly suggest that these victims should be reinvestigated so that the proper charges in court should be filed. Mr. Chair. Major General, would you please answer?
Yes, Your Honor. It's a matter of the inventory of cases, and I believe it will be coinciding with the cases of the Internal Affairs Service.
Attorney Conti, may tanong lang ako, Mr. Chair, tanong lang ako, Attorney Conti, considering yung mga present situation before, during the time nung last administration, and kanina sinabi ni NBI Director that nahirapan silang i-pursue yung mga cases because of a lot of different factors. Like, well, yung mga evidences, medyo wala na, 2 years or 3 years ago pa. And at the same time, yung consideration of the families, would you agree with me na one of the factors why the families are not cooperating during that time because of the policy of the government?
Yes, Your Honor. And the continuing security threats to themselves. Kasi yung police na nag-operate o pumatay, doon pa rin naka-assign. At probably sila rin ang mag-iimbestiga. So,
and that's the reason why kaya yung resulta natin sa pagpa-file ng case, yung iba nadi-dismiss dahil nga po sa takot ng pamilya because of the existing environment, no? Moving forward, no? Now that we have realized that in accordance with the suggestion of Congressman Chairman Abante to reopen the investigation of all these cases, and having considered the manifestation of the NBI Director with regards to sa mga evidences, do you think we will be having a hard time to pursue all of this investigation? And if we will be having a hard time moving forward as a lawyer, ano po yung pwede nating gawin?
Your Honor, first off, it would take a big deal to recover or restore the trust of these people, of these victims in the investigation and justice system in the Philippines. Pasensya na po, pero parang nabasag lahat yun noong nakaraang panahon. And lalo na, the killings continue. The HAS, the organization which monitors killings, have noted some 300 killings last year as well. And we think it could be related to continuing practice, kung wala nakasanayan na po ng mga pulis. Kung wala mang policy na sasabihin or walang sinasabi, parang patuloy pa rin talaga yung kalakaran. Ang pwede po siguro, if this committee or this government wants to investigate everything, as a rule, continue with the investigation. If some of the victims would prefer not to be reinvestigated, then allow them that leeway. So as a rule, lahat po iimbestigahan ulit, ilalabas lahat ng ebidensya, and just allow the victims to opt out.
Paano lalabas yung ebidensya kung halimbawa wala na nga po yung ebidensya?
Sa totoo po, actually, ito yung tanungan namin kung yung biktima po yung tatanungin, wala po sa amin din yung ebidensya. Nasa PNP po. Kaya,
for example, I think, I just think about this, because of the environment of the last administration, those evidences na, well, I hope that they can really deliver all those weapons, na nakuha sa crime scene, but I really doubt kung meron talaga. But kung wala, moving forward, we cannot investigate anymore. So, ano in-expect sa atin na dapat natin gawin kung wala na tayong makukuha ng ganong klaseng ebidensya, we cannot re-investigate anymore. And considering that we're talking about 7,000 as manifested by the PNP during the investigation sa Committee on Human Rights, inamin nila naman na almost 7,000 yung naging namatay sa drug on war. So ngayon, war on drugs. So ngayon, ang tanong, kakunti na yung katulad ni Miss Marisa Hamoy. Out of the 7,000, ilan lamang po yung naging successful na napakulong po natin yung perpetrator? Ilan lamang po sa mga hawak ninyo? Si Attorney Conti, and then si Mr. Joel Sarmenta.
Your Honor, we reviewed 200 cases. Only 6 we could file in court. Only 1 we secured a conviction for.
Isa lang naging successful.
Out of total 200.
And with Joel Sarmenta, So si Miss Samuel lang.
Based on me, hindi po. Filed and filed, but nothing happens. In fact,
So wala pang ano, I thought yung perpetrator na nakakulong na right now. Ay, hindi din po. So in other words, sa 7,000, isa lang ang nakulong. Isa lang?
Your Honor, from my count, there should be at least 8 police officers detained. 8 from 3 cases. Kian, Carl, and the Bonifacio case. Convictions of police officers.
So halos lahat yung dismiss.
Yes, Your Honor.
So out
Unfortunately,
of the 7,000, ilan yung na-dismiss?
if at all, kung may na-file. Actually, at one count in 2018, Your Honor, we were talking among ourselves, yung mga lawyers po. A handful of cases lang ang na-file namin between NUPL, FLAG, Ideals, some law groups, and even NBI and PAO. Binilang na po namin, ang bilang namin, 18 to 20 cases ang nakasampa na parang offensive, counter-offensive, kaso patungkol doon sa pagpatay. Yung iba pong kasong tinutukoy, kunyari, kaso na kinaso doon sa pinatay or nakasurvive.
Do you really, sige, Mr. Joel Sarmenta.
Sorry, sir. Chair, and I'd like to note, yung Bonifacio case is only this 2024, mid-2024. So it's very recent. There's also the phenomenon of the Bertes case where the guilty policeman is now incarcerated for a different shooting. And in fact, the RTC of Pasay still has to be really pushed to reopen that case and really start prosecuting.
Yeah. I hope you guys know na hindi tayo mawala ng pag-asa. No? The reason why I'm trying to tell this is because of the reality. Katulad na sinabi ni NBI Director na talagang pag wala na ebidensya, it's hard to reinvestigate. And having said that, 2025 na po ngayon. And ang sinasabi po ni NBI Director, years back pa. And the more na magiging much more impossible to recover all those evidences. But mahirap naman pong bitawan na yung mga pamilya ng biktima. So we have to hang on and try to move forward and try to somehow yung reinvestigation, the best effort that we can do. Siguro, Mr. Chairman, medyo nasadin ako ngayon. Hindi na sana ako magtatanong. Pero parang naisip ko, out of the 7,000, ilan ba talagang naging successful? So ngayon, parang lumalabas na isa o dalawa lamang. Talagang nakakalungkot na yan. Talagang medyo this government, the present government, must do something to give justice to those families sa biktima. Yun naman po, Mr. Chairman, at halinawa ay magkaroon talaga ng result ang ating pong national government, no?